जैसे कि आप देख रहे हैं महात्मा गांधी के स्टैचू के आगे खड़े हैं इंडियन एम्बेसी आए हुए हैं। ऑल इंडियन कल्चरल एसोसिएशन ने जिन कलाकारों को कुवैत बुलवाया है उनसे मुलाकात करवाने के लिए मैं बेताब हूँ। आइए बिना किसी वक्त ज़ाया किए हम उसी तरफ चलें। Conversation with the founder of All India Cultural Association, Mr. Usama Faruki. Welcome to our show, Second Home India, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about the association first? Like, what was the aim behind forming this association?
Alright, the association was founded by 5 of us in 2010. The aim and the purpose of this association was to, present our culture, the Indian culture as per se, to people living here in a form of entertainment, wherein we conducted about 4 mushairas or poetic meet in the past 4 years. This year being the 4th one. It was done in February. Okay. I think end of February, yes, at Hala Fabraya time. Yes. And it was it was quite a successful event, and the adulation, or you could see the audience what we got, that made us think again that we should do, one more show before the year ends. Right. And that was the purpose, and to give them a different kind of an entertainment, as you've seen and interviewed basically. Right. And I hope the people, it's their support that has encouraged us to do this event again. Right. And we'll be doing a lot more in the future as well, but today,
Yes, tell us something about today then. You've got a very good mix of people. Like, you have this one radio jockey, and then you have an actor who's also done stage performances, movies, he's done direction. Yes. A very good mix of people. How did you come up with
Well, the idea was to give them something, a different kind of a feel, and do something different. We all were brainstorming that should we do another poetic meet, or should we just do a lecture or something like that. Then we came and said, all right, let's combine 3 things together differently so we can cater to 3 different audiences at the same time. You have Mr. Naved Khan, who is a radio jockey from Delhi, Radio Mirchi. All right, then we have a theatre group from Aligarh Muslim University pass outs. They have been associated with acting for a very long time. Okay. So they wanted to do a play. The play is called A Letter to Gandhi. All right. And then the third and the last one, we have a monologue done by Mr. Mohammad Shah. Okay. He, of course, is an established actor, a theatre personality. And the best part is he's young. So the young crowd can connect to him. That was the idea. And if you see all these 3 different genres, all of them are young. So you'll have more of a youth crowd coming in and associating with them one-on-one. And if they're interested to pursue their acting career, or in radio or even theatre, so you have 3 different
exposing
exactly
the youth to different
lines.
Exactly.
And that is something which you've Kuwait has seen a lot of stage plays, a lot of concerts, functions, but there wasn't any one-on-one interaction as per se. But our show, we said no, it'll be a direct audience interaction, and you'll see this tonight. Inshallah.
So lots to look forward to for this evening. But going back to the poetry session you mentioned, in the past you've done poetry sessions. Any particular reason why this? So this poetry session is in Urdu, I believe?
Yes, it is in Urdu, and it's basically the language. Unfortunately, in today's generation, they speak the language, but they can't read or write it. And I come from a background where Urdu poetry or literature has been discussed and been talked about since I was born. And keeping that legacy forward, pushing it on, I feel that you should know your mother tongue in and out. If you don't, then you cease to exist. If I may say it in Urdu, तुम्हारी पहचान उस वक्त तक है जब तक तुम्हारी ज़बान जिंदा है.
बहुत अच्छी बात कही.
तुम्हारी ज़बान ख़त्म हो गई, तुम ख़त्म हो गए. So I believe in that. So I think we should teach our kids our mother tongue. They should know how to read, write and speak it to keep our legacy going forward. That's the main intention.
बहुत अच्छी बात कही. मोहब्बत का कानों में रस घोलते हैं. ये उर्दू ज़बान है जो हम बोलते हैं. उर्दू के लिए किसी ने बहुत अच्छी 2 लाइन्स कही.
Very rightly said, yes.
जी. अच्छा, आगे आने वाले मुस्तक़बिल की बात करें तो I would like to know future events. What can our viewers look forward to, Kuwaiti audience?
We are brainstorming on those. I think the next program we're planning to do is again in March 2017. We haven't finalized whether it's going to be a poetic meet or it's going to be a stage play or so. So now we are just exploring that. But yes, definitely shortly within the next 4 months you'll hear from us again. And we'll be organizing something for the audience of Kuwait to come and enjoy the show. I see. And any form of entertainment basically. So I'm not going to announce it right now, but yes, in the next 4 months' time, definitely you'll come to hear from us very soon.
There's been a lot of enthusiasm. These kind of functions that you do you always have a very enthusiastic crowd? Like, is it house full all the time?
Yes, fortunately, since we started first, we were quite skeptical that we're going to do a poetic meet. Now, poetic meet is a very restricted genre because it's related to the language, Urdu. And you don't have many Urdu-speaking people in Kuwait who understand the poetry, the literature.
Right.
But once we did our first show, we actually were surprised that the hall was full to the extent that people were standing in the background and they wanted to listen to us. It was done in Sims, the first one I remember still, and continuing that, coming to an end this year, February. We had a gathering of more than about 3,500 people attending the poetic meet, which is good for the Urdu language. Right. And there were like people from Hyderabad, there were people from Bangalore, from North, from Delhi, and Punjabis, and it was all mixed. So it was a huge boost for us to do something in the near future. So here we are again.
Thank you so much. I love what you're doing for the audience in Kuwait, and I'm sure our viewers are super excited for tonight as well. Thank you so much for being on our show, and I wish you every success for all the other programs that you're going to bring to Kuwait.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. कर रहे हैं ऑल इंडिया कल्चरल एसोसिएशन के 2 अहम शख्सियत से. आइए मैं आपका तारुफ करवाऊँ उनसे. वेलकम टू आवर शो सेकंड होम इंडिया. सर, पहले आप अपना इफ़ यू डोंट माइंड तारुफ करवाएं और ऑडियंस से हमारी.
थैंक यू. मेरा नाम मोहम्मद इकराम है, मैं इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेटर हूँ.
और आप?
मेरा नाम मोहम्मद आमिर है, मैं ऑल इंडिया कल्चरल एसोसिएशन का जनरल सेक्रेटरी हूँ.
अच्छा, आज की शाम जिसके नाम की गई है, कुछ हमें उनके बारे में बताइए.
जी, आज की शाम जो है सर सैयद अहमद खां के नाम है. एट्रीब्यूट तो सर सैयद अहमद खां कर रहे हैं. हम ये प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे यूनिवर्सिटी के बहुत सारे तालिब इल्म हैं, यहाँ पर सारे लोग यहाँ मौजूद हैं.
सर अहमद खान यूनिवर्सिटी के फाउंडर, सर सैयद अहमद खान है वो यूनिवर्सिटी के फाउंडर थे.
जी.
अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी के
उन्होंने अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी को बनाया और पहले मोहम्मद एंग्लो ओरिएंटल कॉलेज के नाम से उसकी नींव रखी थी। बाद में जो है वो अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर तब्दील हो गया।
मेरा ख्याल है आज के इवेंट में भी कुछ अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी के एलुमनाई स्टूडेंट्स आए हुए हैं।
जी, बहुत बड़ी तादाद अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी की यहाँ पर मौजूद है इस इवेंट के अंदर, खासकर क्योंकि हम ये फंक्शन जो है वो डेडिकेटेड है सर सैयद अहमद ख़ान को, तो उनके नाम से कर रहे हैं। तो इस वजह से यहाँ पर अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी की जो कम्युनिटी है उसको भी इन्वाइट किया गया, तो बड़े पैमाने पर यहाँ पर मौजूद है।
अच्छा, कुछ आज के इवेंट के बारे में बताइए कि आज क्या व्हाट डू यू थिंक द ऑडियंस शुड बी एक्सपेक्टिंग?
आज का इवेंट जो है हमारे जो दो इंटरनेशनल गेस्ट आए हुए हैं, एक मेजर मोहम्मद अली शाह और आरजे नवेद, जो बहुत सोशल मैसेजेस पास करते हैं मीडिया में, वो भी हैं हमारे गेस्ट हैं हमारे। और मोहम्मद अली शाह हैं जो मेजर थे, वो अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी वाइस चांसलर के साहबजादे हैं।
अच्छा, ऑल इंडियन कल्चरल एसोसिएशन जो ये फॉर्म किया गया था, इसके तहत आप हमें और क्या दिखाने वाले हैं? व्हाट शुड द कुवैती ऑडियंस बी लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू नेक्स्ट?
देखिए, हम 2010 से कंटिन्यूसली इसके अंदर कल्चर और लिटरेरी इवेंट्स कर रहे हैं, जिसमें मुशायरा भी शामिल है, जिसको बड़े पैमाने के ऊपर यहाँ पर किया जाता है। और हम कोशिश करते हैं कि अच्छे से अच्छे जो प्रोग्राम हो सके इंडियन कम्युनिटी को केटर करते हैं, और कुवैती कम्युनिटी को भी हम लोग इनवाइट करते हैं कि वो आ करके इस इवेंट के अंदर पार्टिसिपेट करें। लेकिन लैंग्वेज की वजह से थोड़ा सा जो है वो लोग उसको बहुत ज़्यादा वो नहीं कर पाते हैं, लेकिन हम हमेशा कोशिश करेंगे कि जो अच्छे से अच्छा कर सकें और आगे दूसरे तरीके के आइडियाज़ लेकर के आएंगे कि जहाँ पर हम सभी कम्युनिटी को केटर कर सकें।
इंशाल्लाह खुदा आपको बहुत कामयाबी दे इस चीज़ के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टॉकिंग टू अस ऑन द शो। शुक्रिया। This very talented actor Mohammad Ali Shah, who's here in Kuwait with us. Welcome to our show, Second Home India.
Thank you, Amna.
I've heard you've been to Kuwait before, around 20 years ago.
That's right.
And tell our viewers if you found Kuwait different or is it the same from 20 years
Of course, very, very different. My father was the Indian Defence Attaché to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Yemen. So he was based in Riyadh that time for 3.5 years. And every month he would come to Kuwait, make a trip to Yemen. So I had come with him to Kuwait in 1996. I remember visiting the Kuwaiti towers and having a meal at the revolving restaurant on top and chilling around the beach side. And of course the masjid over here where we prayed namaz. I have amazing memories. So when I was coming to Kuwait after 20 years, I was imagining it to be the same more or less, because that is the image, the memory you left behind. But it's changed drastically and I'm very happy it's progressed, and it is definitely going to progress further.
It has, but the revolving restaurant you mentioned is still there, so I hope you get a chance to go visit it.
Yes, I intend going there again, yes.
So tell us something about your career in the army.
In the army, well, I was always very passionate about the army because father was in the army. And he retired from the army as the deputy chief of the army staff. He reached the second highest rank in the Indian army. So I was very inspired by him. He used to come home after office, I would take his beret and wear it and salute him and admire his uniform. He is my superhero, you know. He is, I don't think I look up to anybody as much as I look up to my father. So I was always passionate about acting, no doubt. And I would play the role of an army officer many a times as a kid.
Right.
So I went to Pune for my graduation, specifically to Pune because the NDA is there, the National Defence Academy.
Okay.
And of course my father's younger brother, Mr. Nasiruddin Shah. His alma mater is FTI, Film and Television Institute of India. Is there in Pune.
Yeah.
So I saw both the institutes from close in Pune.
Oh, that's very nice. I mean, yeah, you
And I being this, I was like a slightly greedy actor and a greedy person. I wanted to experience best of both worlds. So I thought, why not? When there's a will, there's a way. I say when there's a will, there are a lot of ways.
Right.
I wanted to join the army. I want to act. You can't do both. But here I'm proving that I'm doing both.
Yes.
I joined the army, the short service, for 5 years, because when I was prepared to go to the NSD, the National School of Drama, to train as an actor in theatre for 3 years, add in 2 more years, be patient, it doesn't matter. It's patience pays at the end of the day.
Ji.
So I joined the Short Service Commission, trained at Chennai, and I thought at that time, before joining, that okay, what if I join the army, train as a commando in the army, army will pay me and train me as a commando in martial arts,
Yeah.
horse riding and polo, deep water diving, mountain climbing, rock climbing, hang gliding, adventure sports, water sports, parasailing, parajumping, paratrooping. I mean, you name it all.
Wow. Yeah.
Army will train you in all that.
Yeah.
It will inculcate.
Just listening to all that has got me excited.
It will inculcate a sense of patriotism, which always was there, no doubt.
Yes.
It would add more to it. It would discipline me. It would give me the right structure, shape, and the bearing
Right.
to face any challenge for the rest of my life. Because the kind of training we would have received in the army, it would have held me in good stead anywhere.
Right.
So I decided, okay, let me put in 5 years in the army.
Okay.
After my 11 months of training at Chennai, I got my first posting as a lieutenant when I got 2 stars on my shoulders. My parents put
That must have been such a proud moment.
It was. I got my first posting to Jammu and Kashmir on the India-Pakistan border, and I was 23 years old that time. For a 23-year-old guy, going to a state where there's insurgency, there's this AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Power Act,
Okay.
which means you can just arrest anyone, you can pick up anyone on suspicion without a search warrant. You can search anyone's house, you can arrest anyone without a arrest warrant. And those are the kind of powers given to us. And suddenly a weapon like AK-47 is given to you with ammunition,
Yeah.
live grenades, you're handling responsibility. Whereas your peers from your college, they are still wondering, figuring out what is to be done with life. And you go
Right.
back to college, they would be there deciding, filling up forms for the MBA or engineering or something else perhaps.
Right.
And I was in Jammu Kashmir for 2 years and I was very lucky. I had very good troops with me. I looked after them, they looked after me in turn.
Right.
And we conducted some very successful operations. Then I got my posting as ADC to the General Officer Commanding 3 Corps in Nagaland,
Right.
Northeast, from JNK to Northeast, where incidentally the GOC, my own boss, my immediate boss, was General Shah. That's my father. So people think, wow, it must be a great time, but it wasn't. It was a very challenging time. He was very strict with me, and he was hard. He was a hard task master, And I had to prove to him that a lot of fathers think that the son is useless. Okay, I had to prove to him that no, your son is not useless. See, I know my work. Yeah, I'm working hard.
Right.
So I served with him for a year, and that's where I proved to him, and he began to respect me after that.
Right.
Because when I would go home on leave from JNK, I would be sleeping till 8 in the morning, and he expects you to wake up at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Get up. Why you sleeping till this time?
Right.
This is what you must be doing there as well. I think, come on, have a heart. I'm on leave. I'm entitled to enjoy myself on leave.
Right.
And then I got a posting to the Assam Rifles. I was selected to go there on deputation. I was lucky. I got a gallantry award there for. I would say I wasn't very deserving, to be very honest. It was my men who did all the work, but me being the officer in charge, leading the column.
Right.
So one person has to get the credit, right? So I got the credit on their behalf.
Right.
I still owe it to them. It was their hard work.
I hope they're listening too, and हम ये प्रोग्राम उन तक पहुंचाने की भी ज़रूर कोशिश करेंगे.
Shukriya.
But I also hear that later on, you took all these colleagues of yours and for a movie that you were going to do, right?
That's
So it was very interesting how you merged, your real life heroes into a movie that was speaking of them. Tell me a little more about that.
After the army, when I did my management, I went to IIM Calcutta. One very important thing which I really somehow have to say, that when I was in Nagaland, I got selected to lead the Assam Rifles contingent for the Republic Day Parade, the Indian Republic Day Parade on 26th January.
Right.
So I led the parade there on Rajpath before the President of India. And the men who are with me, who stood by me in all operations, and we have gone through thick and thin.
Right.
And later on, when I came to Bombay to be an actor, I got to know Vishal Bhardwaj was making a film in Kashmir, an
Right.
adaptation of Hamlet.
Okay.
And by virtue of having done Hamlet several times, and reading Hamlet many times, I went and met Vishal Bhardwaj. I told him, sir, I'm an ex-army officer. We're shooting in Kashmir. I'm sure there would be some scenes with regards to the army.
Yes.
And it clicked.
Right.
And he cast me as an army officer, and he was giving me stuntsmen. I told him, sir, this is a small suggestion, and what a brilliant visionary director. He took my suggestion immediately. I said, sir, why don't we use ex-army guys instead of using stuntsmen?
Right.
They
But
will
you
bring
were-
in more authenticity to
true.
the entire situation.
Yes.
And so he gave me the green signal. I quickly gathered up. Now, you can't use real serving soldiers. You need permission from the Ministry of Defence to get the army guys
Yes.
on board.
Yes.
So I got them guys like me who had served in the army, who know the drills.
Right.
You give them a weapon. They know how to handle a weapon. Whereas you give an actor, he first
You
needs
need
to
direction,
train.
you know,
Exactly.
like how expression, what's the expression?
Exactly. So I made a platoon of 30 ex-army Jawans, and there I was in Kashmir shooting with Vishal Bhardwaj for Heather. And those same Jawans, they did the sequence of the army men in the initial sequence when we pick up Heather's father, we blow up Heather's house.
Right.
Same Jawans played the role of also militants with beards. They grew the beards for 6 months. The graveyard sequence in Heather.
The last.
If you
the
have
la-
seen the film.
yes.
So the
the
graveyard
last
sequence was played by them because they know the drills. So and as a result, Heather, not only this, combined with Vishal Bhardwaj's vision, we won 5 national awards.
I know, that's huge. It says a lot about the film. I mean, 5 national awards. It's crazy. You must have been like that. Would you consider that to be like the turning point in your acting career?
It
for your
certainly
acting
was.
career?
It certainly was because I am more of a theatre person. I do a lot of plays. In fact, I've come to Kuwait with a play of mine.
Right.
The major actors, assorted monologues, and I'm grateful to the association. Mr. Mujib Akhtar Saab sent the invitation to me,
Ji.
and I readily accepted. I said yes. For a theatre lover, I mean, I told him even if I get a film offer, my commitment to you stands. First love is theatre, right? I love the feeling of being on stage.
Okay.
I still recall the feeling when I was 5 years old. How many years back was that? Oh God, so many years back. Being on stage. So I am more of a theatre person, and Heather won a lot of Filmfare awards,
Right.
a lot of international awards on various international platforms, film festivals.
So what would you consider is the difference between theatre and acting in a film?
Well, I personally as an actor feel the way I've been trained that there is no difference in the performance. Either a performance is truthful or it's not. Either what you're doing in that, you believe in it, that's why you're doing that. Or if you don't believe in it, it's fake, it's false.
Right.
So it shows. Now, having said that, a lot of people say that in theatre you exaggerate things.
Yeah.
In films you got to be more subtle because the camera is zooming on you on 70 mm. Whatever you see, it gets exaggerated further.
Right.
But I feel if the emotion is truthful, if you're honest to that scene, you don't need to play the thing of being subtle or loud. Having said that, they say in theatre, if you're acting badly, you are acting like a film hero. Now, in films they say, if you're acting badly or you are being too theatrical, you're dramatizing the whole situation.
Ji.
Well, you should know how to shift gears. The way you would ride a bike, a motorbike or a bicycle, or the way you drive in traffic or on a highway. You at the end of the day, you're driving a car, right?
Right.
Now, be it in a traffic jam space or be it on a highway,
Freeway.
you know how to shift gears.
Right.
Similarly, an actor should know how to shift gears
Right.
and act accordingly with utmost truth in the performance.
Very interesting. You know, you have a lot of fans here in Kuwait. You'll see them in the evening. But before we go, Second Home India would like to find out if there's any message you'd like to give to the aspiring theatre performers here in Kuwait. There's a group called Fankar here.
I've heard about Fankar.
You've
That's right.
heard, yeah. Any message you'd like to give to the aspiring performers?
Firstly, I would like to commend all the members of Fankar because I'd heard about them before I came here itself. They are really very, very passionate. They're doing some great work and I really commend them for that. All I want to tell them and others is, believe in yourself. You should have the conviction about yourself. You know, like I served in the army, I left a management career to pursue what I'm doing.
Right.
And people tell me it's something not everyone has the guts to do. I feel no, I think it's a very normal thing that I'm doing. Everybody in this world should be following their heart, their dreams and should know what their true calling is.
Absolutely.
So if you be passionate, if you are passionate, if you enjoy working, like say you are also doing another job and you're also an anchor here. If you truly love what you're doing, you'll never have to do a hard day's work for the rest of your life.
जी बिल्कुल.
You don't think it's work. You think you're loving it. You're passionate about it.
किसी ने बहुत एक अच्छा 2 लाइन्स कही थी इसी बात को, जज्बे को मद्देनजर रखते हुए, कि कल रात मैंने आइंदा को चलते देखा.
वाह, कल रात मैंने आइंदा को चलते हुए देखा.
इश्क और रिस्क को एक साथ निकलते देखा.
इश्क और रिस्क को एक साथ निकलते देखा. वाह वाह. बहुत ही क्या बहुत
शुक्रिया. बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलकर. सेकेंड होम इंडिया पर आने के लिए आपका बहुत शुक्रिया. एंड वी विश यू द वेरी बेस्ट, not just for tonight but for everything that your life is going to bring ahead.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. It's wonderful speaking to you and I love being here.
Great. Thank you. आइए मैं आपका तारुफ करवाती हूँ डॉक्टर अनीस अहमद से. ये सिम स्कूल से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं. आप आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन आप डायरेक्टर हैं स्कूल के?
जी, आई एम द डायरेक्टर ऑफ सालमी इंडियन मॉडल स्कूल.
आज स्टेज पर बड़े सारे कलाकार आने लगे हैं जो एक्टर्स रह चुके हैं. रेडियो जॉकी में भी बहुत अपनी महारत उन्होंने हासिल की है. आप स्कूल में बच्चों को इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स के लिए बढ़ावा देते हैं?
Naturally, actually, today's this Mohammad Ali Shah, we have invited him to come and conduct a workshop for the children, and he will be visiting us on Saturday. But unfortunately, our